Welcome to the NCAA Softball Regionals presented by Capital One. Rita Hillenbrand Stadium in Tucson, ready for day 2 of regional action with Ole Miss taking on the number 11 national seed Arizona, trying to spring the upset today. Favorites advanced with comfortable wins yesterday. Villanova and UMBC will meet in game number 2 of our day, but we start with the big matchup first between the Pac-12 and the SEC, Arizona and Ole Miss. Alongside the UCLA legend Amanda Freed, I'm Jonathan Yardley watching this with you. Amanda, what did we see from these teams yesterday, and how will it translate to the head-to-head matchup?
Well, I think we saw what we were thinking we were going to see yesterday. Both of these teams came out knowing that they had to get it done in the circle and find ways to score runs. The Arizona Wildcats found it offensively with great performances in the circle, and then Anna Borgen over for Ole Miss did fantastic and allowed her team to score some runs.
When it comes to offense, Arizona is all about power. 7th in the country in home runs per game, and we saw it with 2 absolute bombs yesterday, including number 90 of her career from Jessie Harper.
Well, Jessie Harper is so much fun to watch, and coming into this series, Coach Candrea said this team needs to be able to hit. They've been having great performances in the circle, but it's down to the middle of their lineup. Harper, there's Palacios going deep as well. This is the key to their success, is finding their offensive game.
And it's not just those 2. They have double-digit home run hitters stacked throughout the Arizona lineup. Palacios and Harper driving in 6 of the 7 runs in the win over UMBC last night. Now, Ole Miss won the first game behind Anna Borgen, and they found enough offense, which is kind of the MO. They find it from a variety of sources.
They do. That's what Coach Jamie Traxel said, is this team top to bottom figures out ways to score runs. Yesterday was no different. Autumn Gillespie was fantastic in the box, going 3 for 4, including an RBI. She's going to be one of the keys to the success, but it's going to be 1 through 9. It's going to be a collective effort, and it's going to be who can manufacture runs and have great performances in the circle again.
So much talk about the Pac-12 and the SEC and where teams were seated. The first head-to-head matchup between these conferences. When we come back, Ole Miss and Arizona get us started. Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Regionals presented by Capital One. More than 1,900 here. They're finally at full capacity at Hillenbrand Stadium. Last night, to see Arizona win, and Alyssa Denham heads to the circle. Going to use that drop to try and get win number 2 on the weekend.
That's really where her strength is she throws hard down in the zone with good velocity, and she mixes speeds well, so she has the ability to use the dirt, use her defense, and get outs.
Now let's take a look at our Capital One starting lineup for Ole Miss. Almost the same lineup as we saw yesterday, but they do insert another slapper, Naomi Jones, in the 7th spot.
Well, when you take a look at the way that the offense was using the dirt in front of home plate yesterday, getting the high hops and then getting on with speed, I think it's beneficial to add in any slapper that can use that dirt as well and generate some offensive momentum.
Jamie Traxel in her first year as the Ole Miss head coach, hired 13 months ago, and has them back in the same spot where Ole Miss was 2 years ago in the Super Regionals. These teams played for a trip to Oklahoma City. Today, a spot in the regional final is on the line, and Paige Smith flies out right off the bat to Alyssa Palomino Cardoza, 1 away.
Doing her homework before she steps in the box. I like the aggression right out the gates. Paige Smith just trying to set the tone for her offense here in the top of the first.
Autumn Gillespie keyed the attack yesterday. We showed you in the open, 3 for 4. 6th-year senior from Redlands, California. You'll find 9 Californians and 1 from Arizona on this Ole Miss roster. They're comfortable playing West Coast ball. There's the change from Denham.
And Tucson's an easy place to get into, and I'm sure the families have all made the trip. You think, coming out west, these coaches do a good job also bringing their athletes out to be able to play in front of their families.
That one just missed, to the relief of the Ole Miss side. A lot of blue and red in the stands for this one behind both dugouts. Off the glove of Denham. Not enough time for Karanko to make the play. And Autumn Gillespie is on again, 4 for 5 in the regional.
Well, Alyssa Denham is tall out there in the circle, so Gillespie using that dirt again. Denham not able to get up to make that grab, deflects it over to Karanko at second base, but just not enough time.
And she's signaling safe before she even stepped on the base.
We've seen that a couple times from these athletes, waving the motion before they touch the bag. Passionate.
Abby Latham, the hitter, now ahead in the count. Double and an RBI yesterday. Gets out her cheat sheet, puts it in the back pocket, and stands in. Boy, Alex Leap is not making any friends in Tucson with not giving that low strike to Alyssa Denham.
When you better believe this crowd will let them hear it. They are on it, they are engaged, they're at full capacity.
So a quick circle visit from Deja Mulipola.
There's been a few pitches there that have tailed back over the plate. Mulipola's setting up outside, so they're going to have a conversation about that.
Best defense in the country, statistically speaking. There was an error last night, like newsflash, but it came after the game had been decided. If they played enough games and locked it down defensively, they could set an NCAA record for fielding percentage. And while there may be better metrics to weigh fielding, we haven't seen any that have been mass marketed just yet. How about Latham swinging away 3-0?
Well, she thought that conversation was, hey, let's throw a strike. She was expecting it a little bit higher in the zone. But again, hard drop down.
That's smoked through the right side. Great outfield arms, and Gillespie holds at second, but has plenty to clap about.
This is a great approach at the plate, that down outside drop, waiting back, taking it to the right side. Denham's throwing the ball with some good velocity. She's upper 60s, mid-upper 60s, so you really don't have to press. Nice line drive, solid hit into right.
This is Pearland against Pearland. And she swings at one pitch from her old high school teammate and grounds into a force out. 3-6. And so Ole Miss 60 feet away from taking the lead, but Arizona 1 out away from escaping. They're not wasting any time, Amanda. It's 2 first pitch swingers.
I was thinking that same thing, putting the pressure on early in this ball game, putting Arizona against their backs a little.
Jesse Puck, hit by a pitch yesterday, 0 for 2. Now has a 1-1 count. Arizona was pretty comfortable in that super regional win 2 years ago. 5-2 in the first game, it was tight. 9-1 with Denham in the circle in the second. It was not. A lot of players from both teams, of course, back from that series, and so something to prove for Ole Miss, without a doubt.
I think Ole Miss is just feeling good based on their performance in the SEC. Picked last preseason, definitely didn't finish there.
could see Denham take a step toward the dugout. Wanted that call. Hasn't been a strike today, though.
No, it's consistent. 2 off speeds down in the zone, same spot. Maybe just below the knees, but Mulipola is so good back there. She's able to lift it up and make it look maybe a little better than it was. But that is a tough pitch to lay off for 2 strikes.
Swings right through that one, and Alyssa Denham wiggles off the hook. Arizona's big bats coming up next. For Ole Miss, she throws harder than Anna Borgen, and she's going to go with the rise up in the zone.
Yeah, she likes to live up there. She's a high strikeout type of a pitcher, so going to see how she's able to use the pitches that she has, use them effectively to get these Arizona Wildcats, but also keep in mind the thin air and their ability to hit that ball hard.
Our Capital One starting lineup for Arizona. Same group that beat UMBC yesterday. And again, double-digit homers just dotted throughout this lineup. Harper, Mulipola, Palacios, Malia Martinez, and Skupin's not far off either under Mike Candrea. But they start with 2 slappers. And defending the slap of Janelle Mionio and Reina Caranco is no simple task.
And we saw how effective the dirt in front of home plate is when you use it right. Get a high hop. You cannot let that ball bounce twice when you're facing a Mionio.
Mionio reached base 4 times yesterday, 2 hits, an error, and a walk. Ball didn't leave the infield on any of the 3 balls she put in play. It didn't need to. Weather can best be described as, well, Arizona. High 80s. It is a bit windy. 15, 20 mile an hour winds. There you go, 20. Out to left. They'll take that in the third base dugout. Now, Anna Borgen was the starter for Ole Miss last night. Was their lead on a weekend series most of the year, but Savannah Diedrich actually with better numbers in SEC play, as you see Caranco ready to bat next. Diedrich in SEC play 1.88 ERA.
That's just a fantastic ERA for a conference like that. And it was great that Anna Borgen was able to do what she did yesterday and save a fresh arm in Diedrich for today.
And Mionio is aboard. Speed on the base paths, 12 steals on the year. Diedrich was on the team in 2019, didn't pitch in that super regional. And we'll see how Arizona approaches this. Bunt, slap, or see if she can throw a strike.
Well, it's tough defending these 2 slappers back to back. You have to anticipate the short game slap. Reina Caranco also has some power. You see with that RBI, those 11 RBIs and a home run.
Laid down 2 bunts yesterday, one of them misplayed by UMBC. 0 for 2 though in her other 2 at-bats. She's 3 for her last 25. Going back to the UCLA and Oregon series. And you don't usually stay in the 2-hole for long if you're 3 for 25 come the postseason.
Well, she's a super senior, and I know Coach Candrea has a lot of trust in what Karanka can do.
Junior from Hacienda Heights, California, Los Altos High School. Only 15 appearances before this year. This is her 30th.
Yeah, really been a mainstay in the circle.
Same defense as yesterday for Ole Miss. The only lineup change was in the DP spot. Great speed in center with Whitley to run things down.
Diedrich looking to keep that ball down in the zone. We were told it was the up pitch, the curve, kind of more that belt and above that she likes to work through, but the ball's been going low. So you wonder if it's a change in game plan or maybe just a little bit of a missed pitch early in the ball game.
Yeah, I thought Gillespie was asking for that up, and she wound up in the other batter's box.
Right, and
again,
Denham was struggling a little bit as well with that strike zone, and that's what you'll find a lot in this first inning. It's who can adjust and who can get through the first clean, because that's oftentimes the most difficult inning.
It is the first NCAA game for Diedrich in this go-around. And even Arizona, which has been there before, they were admitting to some nerves last night until Jessie Harper settled things down with that home run. Three-two count on Karanka.
Ooh. That was a good at-bat.
This is some serious company to keep for Jessie Harper.
And Harper hit 90. She said that was a fun number. I'm going to hit 90. She was talking about it yesterday when she hit that big bomb, a big smile on her face. I mean, that is quite an accomplishment when you look at the company she's in and the consistency throughout her career. That's what impresses me the most about those home run leaders, is that they were able to do that from freshman season all the way through the end.
Riker Chasen, the Ole Miss pitching coach, trying to settle Savannah Diedrich down. Were you surprised they went with Diedrich against a home run hitting team? Because if you miss up, that's a dangerous spot, whereas Borgen induces a lot of soft contact.
You know, no, not at all. I thought they would go with Diedrich, but I think in a game like this where you want to come away with the win, you're prepared to have a short hook if you have to. You don't want to show too much, but if Diedrich gets into early trouble, you're not afraid to go to Borgen, and you've got a deep pitching staff, so might as well use it.
The low strike is not there, and again, it's consistent for both teams, so everyone just has to figure that out and make their adjustments. But that is the book so far. Harper also singled and walked yesterday. And Ava Tillman already throwing in the Ole Miss bullpen. She closed out the 7th inning yesterday, and she is more of a down in the zone type.
Which we're not seeing called, so we're going to have to make adjustments across the board. We've got a lot of down ball pitchers in this ball game.
Handled by Latham. Over to third is the speedy Mionio with 1 out.
Let's take a look at the way that Harper was pitched down in the zone. Smart move, keep it low, but that pitch just has not been called this game. Great pitch inside corner. But Harper does such a good job of covering the plate, that last one off the end, fly out to right field. But anytime she swings and makes contact, you hold your breath for a second. The crowd was cheering because they want to see it leave the ballpark, but turns into a sac fly. She did her job, moved the runner over.
Let's say those were much better pitches than we were seeing when she was ahead in the count against Karanko, but if it's not going to be called, you're going to have to elevate it a bit, which is not a very good idea against Deja Mulipola. She of the 17 homers this year, tops in the Pac-12. Yesterday, fanned 3 times against Courtney Coppersmith of UMBC and had a 19-game on-base streak snapped.
Yeah, Coppersmith was doing some damage with that little low rise ball on the outside part of the plate. Had a lot of Wildcats swinging.
That's to the opposite field and crushed. Gone again. Deja Mulipola starts the day off right.
Well, Mulipola was not going to get caught again. She sits tight, low into her legs, and so quiet. Look at the power in that upper body when she swings. I love that she has power opposite field. Takes it out of the ballpark and gives her team an early 3-run lead.
You could see the excitement and love as she came around. I was going to say 3 strikeouts yesterday, aberration or trend. I think she made it pretty clear that's an aberration.
Yeah, it was not a Deja Mulipola performance yesterday, and she knew it. She was frustrated, but good athletes make adjustments, and she did in her first at-bat of the day.
Charlize Palacios had a similar looking home run. She is the heir apparent behind the plate to Mulipola. I love this. Charlize Palacios in intra-squads in the fall, her first hit was an inside the park home run. That's pretty cool, right? It's a way to break in with the group. Deja Mulipola comes up to her so excited. Charlize, my first hit in intra-squad was an inside the park home run. The passing of the torch from this Arizona huge senior class to this talented freshman class has been constant.
That's actually a really good story. I'm curious what that in the park home run would have looked like, because those just don't happen very often.
Right, what are the odds? Michaela Alley got to that but didn't have a play. I think Palacios was always going to beat it out because Alley was in the hole. And 4 out of 5 hitters have reached against Savannah Diedrich.
Yeah, Charlize Palacios has so much power when she swings. It looks like it could be a routine ground ball, but look at the way that it plays off the dirt. Nothing you can do. Alley makes a fantastic grab in the hole, turns and gets rid of it. But Palacios has some wheels. I mean, she hit it in the park home run, so you've got to have a little speed.
Little venom in that from Diedrich against Alyssa Palomino Cardoza. Turns 24 this month. 6th-year seniors battled injuries. And you know there's only one place she wants to end this career, Oklahoma City.
Yeah, there's a group of super seniors on this Arizona team that would love to get back to Oklahoma City to round out their careers. It's tough to get there, though.
You love your super seniors. Do you give super duper seniors when it's a 6th year?
Yeah, actually you do. Super duper. She is a super duper senior, and there are more of those across the country than you would think. When I look through these rosters, there are athletes dating back to 2016, and they just love this game so much. And as a fan of the game, I want them to experience success and just the best years of their career, knowing what they had to go through over the last year.
Playable in foul territory for the second out. Jesse Puck hauling it in. And this was the super duper senior night. Mike Candrea really emotional talking about this group.
Well, I mean, look at this group. He's had them for so long, and just what they've gone through together. He said he was sweating bullets when he had to hand out all those awards and give the hugs. That group, he said, has given so much. They are tall. They've given so much to the program. Well, you know, you put Alyssa Denham in there, and I mean, she towers over pretty much everybody on the field.
Three 3-0 lead on Deja Mulipola's 18th home run of the season for Arizona here in the first. A rude greeting to Savannah Diedrich. Winner of this game advances to tomorrow night's regional championship. They would have to be beaten twice, only need one win from 2 games. The loser of this one goes back to the hotel, cools off, and then has to play the nightcap, the third game of the day, against either Villanova or UMBC, who follow this one.
The easiest path through this regional is to make sure you stay in the winner's bracket. So the winner through tonight would have to come back tomorrow and play 2 against the winner of this game. So it's not easy. You definitely have to work for it. This game is very important.
We've already seen some favorites who are going to need to be in that position if they're going to come out of their own regional. But Arizona saying right off the bat they have no interest in that. And yep, pretty good odds if you make it to Sunday unbeaten.
Yeah, 89% of the time the 2-0 win the region. I mean, that tells the tale.
Now keep in mind, Ole Miss 2 years ago did not win this game. They were hosting, lost to Louisiana Lafayette, and then came back to beat the Ragin' Cajuns twice on Sunday. It has been done and it can be done, but they do not want to mess around with beating Arizona twice if they can help it. Long run, but hauled in by Whitley to end the inning. Deja Mulipola, though, starts us off with some serious pop.
Well, Mulipola, after Kane 3 times yesterday, the big bomb to start this game off. 3-run home run puts her team up on the board in the first.
Is the party that every player wants to be at.
It's going to be passionate softball for sure.
Back to crown a national champion for the first time since 2019.
They get to chase history here.
We're in Tucson, where Arizona looking good on its start, trying to get back to the Women's College World Series. 3-0 lead after the first, trying to get to Sunday's regional final. UMBC and Villanova square off at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific in the ESPN app. Winner advancing to the elimination game tonight. Chris Kohlmeyer of UMBC out here early. UMBC and Villanova both looking for their first NCAA tournament win, so one of them's going to get it. In our next game, Amanda Freed has a few NCAA tournament wins under her belt. I'm Jonathan Yardley. Glad you could join us. Home run hitters delight those flags.
Yeah, if you're going to pull that ball to left field, there's some active wind out there. Get a little bit up in the air and watch it go.
A big welcome to those of you who are watching the LSU finish. Tigers advance to the regional championship round on Sunday. We're in Tucson, Arizona, out to a 3-0 lead on Jamie Traxel's Ole Miss club. Alongside the UCLA national champion Amanda Freed, I'm Jonathan Yardley. Ole Miss did threaten in that first inning. Had 2 runners on against the Arizona right-hander Alyssa Denham, who any Ragin' Cajun fans who have stuck around might recognize. She's a transfer from Louisiana Lafayette. It was not a smooth first for her, but that 3-run cushion, Amanda, has to help.
Right, having a little bit of a hard time finding the strike zone. And Ole Miss was able to capitalize but not score a run. But it's nice to get the first inning under your belt, get active on the bases.
Now Behringer is the Arizona native on this Ole Miss team. She had 2 chopped base hits yesterday. Trying to get on at the 6th spot in the order.
Behringer can do everything. Slap, hit, bunt. She's a triple threat. She's having a really good season. Stumbled a little during SEC, which you would expect as a freshman. You're facing these top-level athletes every weekend. Their numbers don't exactly reflect the way that she's been performing, says her head coach.
Just out of the reach of Harper, and Behringer is on again. She likes the home cooking at Hillenbrand Stadium.
And Behringer really fought through this at-bat, get a pitch belt high in the zone, kept her head down really nicely and just punches it into the outfield. It's great leadoff hitting.
Well, what would they do with the second-year freshman Naomi Jones? Behringer aboard at first, only the 15th start of the year for Jones. Out of Long Beach. She replaced Gabby Alvarez, who's more of a power hitter. Adding a speed threat from the left side. She's going to race to first. She's tagged. Neat play at first by Skupin, their fantastic freshman. There's that Arizona defense again.
Well, Jones has a ton of speed, takes the ball with her. Maybe just a little too much into the glove of Skupin, but Jones almost able to get by. Skupin applies the tag, but Jones does her job of moving Behringer over.
Our official scorer is feeling semantic. No sacrifice awarded.
Okay.
Michaela Alley, the shortstop. 0 for 2 yesterday. Did walk and score, though. Had to wait on that, and it's playable for Skupin. I'd say it hasn't been the drop, but the changeup that's been Alyssa Denham's most effective pitch so far.
Right, well, the drop has been having a hard time finding the bottom part of the zone, but that changeup, it even looked there that Alley sat back pretty well, but the spin went off the end of the bat and got a pop-up.
Well, I think these two have met before. Angleton, Texas is down US Highway 288 past Pearland, where Alyssa Denham is from. I've spent a lot of time on US Highway 288, let me tell you. And quickly Denham gets ahead 0-1. Fourth chance with runners in scoring position today for Ole Miss. Hitless so far. Called a strike to make it 1-2.
Well, Whitley's got that high batting average. Right. She's the type of player you want up in this position with a runner on second base. She can do a lot of things.
How about the American flag batting gloves? Did you see that?
I like it. Goes with the uniform really well.
In front of the plate, Denham in time. Runners on again for Ole Miss, a leadoff base runner, but she's stranded. Arizona 3, Ole Miss nothing. Wildcats coming up again.
The NCAA Softball Regionals is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Regionals presented by Capital One. Number 11 national seed Arizona out to a 3-0 lead over Ole Miss early in this one with the former national and Olympic champion Amanda Freed. I'm Jonathan Yardley. Amanda, that home run from Deja Mulipola really puts Arizona in pole position for this one.
Yeah, it has, and both teams started off early in that first inning getting base runners on and really being active offensively, but it was Deja Mulipola's home run that really started the fireworks offensively for the Wildcats, putting up that 3 spot. But both teams are getting on these pitchers, they're getting on base, and you just have this feeling that we're going to see a lot more runs this game.
3 home runs in 7 innings for Arizona in the regional so far. 7th in the country in home runs per game. Can't say I'm surprised. Malia Martinez, the number 8 hitter, leads off the Wildcats' second. She was also a strikeout victim of Courtney Coppersmith's yesterday. Straight back up the middle, drops in front of Whitley. And the leadoff runner is on for the 3rd time in 4 frames and the 2nd straight for Arizona.
Well, Malia Martinez down there in that 8th spot, just kind of a quiet, powerful hitter. It's hard to describe, but that's not a bad pitch. She just has so much power through her swing that even though she was fisted a little, she gets it out into center field on a good line.
Peanut Martinez, no relation to Malia, follows her. A lot of options here. I was going to ask Amanda what adjustments you wanted to see from Savannah Diedrich in her 2nd inning of work, but already she's got a leadoff runner on to deal with.
Right, well, I think she just needs to get back to what she's been doing all season long. She's a tremendous pitcher with a lot of spin, hits her spots well. And if she can get that pitch there and keep it consistent and then use that upspin that we talked about, I think that's a great complementing 1-2 punch. Staying ahead of these batters is key.
It's been mostly curveball, screwball. We have not seen the rise very much because she hasn't been ahead in the count.
Right, and missing on that low pitch and just working from behind a little bit.
Peanut Martinez, not one of those who came in expected to be a starter, not a big-time recruit, only played 2 games as a freshman. But 2 years ago, was able to grab the starting left field job, and now she's in her 2nd year starting in right. Real high-energy player for Arizona out of the 9-hole.
And one of the rare athletes that isn't either a senior or a freshman on this squad. You look through the lineup, you have all those super seniors that we talked about, and then 11 freshmen, 8 of them true freshmen, 3 redshirt freshmen. Doesn't leave a lot of room for those sophomore and juniors in the middle.
Yeah, that freshman class, the number 1 class in the country, and it won't surprise you to know that Arizona has a good class coming in next fall as well.
When you think about what Arizona was supposed to leave in this senior class, Karanko, Mulipola, Martinez, Harper, Palomino Cardoza, and then they got these freshmen, everybody stayed, and you know, you're dealing with this massive roster of talented athletes.
I think she just got dust in her eyes from the wind blowing the dirt across the field. They don't call the that hard ground windswept for nothing. We've seen the bounces off this infield already through 2+ games. Allie at short. Got the lead runner at second, one away. Now the Women's College World Series returns to Oklahoma City beginning Thursday, June 3rd, noon Eastern, live on ESPN. For more information on the 2021 Women's College World Series, go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Arizona was there 2 years ago. They hope to be back. But we're starting to see teams from the 64 who started the weekend see their dreams come to an end. One last night and a couple more already today. Eight national championships for Mike Candrea. Wasn't born in Arizona, but moved here at age 7 and is significantly associated with the state now, you might say.
They love him at Arizona. I mean, look what he has done. Built an empire in Tucson.
Allie handled that really well to throw out Mionyo. I mean, it's almost when anyone on the left side of the infield is able to throw her out, or a middle infielder, that's pretty impressive. 2.6 seconds down the line.
Yeah, Allie's been making great decisions over there, too. Her positioning is really good when she comes down with that ball, barely hits the ground with her cleat, and she's making the transition out. You have to know the speed of the hitter so you know how quickly you've got to field that ball and rush it over to first.
I'm going to say, there's no doubt she was intent on going as fast as possible, knowing it was Mionyo running. So Malia Martinez at second base, 2 outs, bottom of the second. Arizona hit a 3-run homer from the cleanup batter, Deja Mulipola, in the first to take this lead. Savannah Dietrich, a little surprised that wasn't called a strike. Ole Miss has threatened in both innings, getting runners into scoring position, but faces this early deficit. Now Reina Caranco ahead in the count, 2-0 with Jessie Harper on deck, and nothing against Reina Caranco, but Amanda, the hitter at the plate is the one you want to attack here.
You're right. You have to make decisions as a pitcher to look on the on-deck circle and know that you have to go after Caranco.
Booted by Allie into left center, and a run will come home. Caranco makes them pay herself. 4-0 Wildcats.
We talked about the different things Caranco can do at the plate. She's not just a short gamer, she's got a lot of power as well. Drives that ball right through Allie. That's a tough play on a short hop. Eats her up a bit, but she's also trying to position herself to protect the speed, so there's really, it's a tough play either way.
Yeah, I said booted. It was a very difficult handle. They are giving her an error for the moment. It was anything but simple as Harper pops this up. The wind making that a challenge. The ball bouncing around, and Harper winds up at second. We told you 20-mile-an-hour winds. What can you do about it?
Wow, there's just nothing you can do to defend this. This ball so high. Harper's power, I mean, that's higher than a regular fly ball. And then the wind just carries Gutierrez from that first base foul line all the way over to the pitcher's circle. And then not enough spin on the ball to go foul, so that turns out to be a double for Jessie Harper. That's the shortest double I've seen in a long time.
That's the wind, sun, natural elements rule that can drive you nuts. We mentioned it might be a factor. We were more thinking about lazy fly balls that might get blown toward the fence, but that turned into an adventure too. And from the frying pan of Harper to the fire of Deja Mulipola, it's a tough order to face.
Yeah, it's a big missed opportunity with that unfortunate fly ball from Harper. Could have been an out, should have been an out without that wind, but now you're facing Mulipola with a couple of runners on base, and they will, I think, smartly decide to put her on base.
Charlize Palacios, 4 for 5 in the regional with a home run. It's pick your poison. I mean, that was possibly a strike, but not called. I mean, it's hard to believe they went 12-10 in the Pac-10, right? Or Pac-12, I beg your pardon. The talent and the power that we've seen on display is so evident, but they had inconsistency whenever they played big teams.
And I think that was what it was. It was inconsistency, and this is what they needed, that they weren't getting all season long, that they're known for is the big bomb. Mulipola finally breaking out in this tournament. Struggled a little bit yesterday, but today she's a definite threat.
Bases loaded, 2 outs, and if Ole Miss has any chance to come back in this game, I don't think it can go above 4th. They've got to retire Palacios here. Full crowd, wind whipping dust around, power hitter after power hitter. I mean, Savannah Diedrich's got to be wondering when she's going to wake up in a cold sweat.
And Palacios just has a monster swing as well. And I think putting Mulipola on first wasn't because you want to face Palacios, it's just purely to create a force out at any bag.
"14 homers from Harper, 18 from Mulipola, 16 from Charlize Palacios. Oh, we see Oklahoma did rally. They were down 2-1 to Wichita State. Sooners, #1 seed, now up 4-2 in the 5th. And #2 UCLA in a tussle there with Fresno State.
Tell you, there's some of these mid-major programs that have flown under the radar because they're not televised as much. You just don't see them, but they are doing some good things, and they're out to prove it. So I think that's what's dangerous about this postseason is there's a lot of unknowns and chips on the shoulder from some of these programs. They want to knock you out. That's their sole goal in going to a regional is to upset.
Well, and there weren't as many games between conferences this year as there usually are either for some of the mid-majors to announce themselves. 3-2, 2 outs, bases loaded, already a 4-0 game. Say Palacios saw 10 pitches in the first inning yesterday. She can prolong an at-bat like few others.
And she's going for it. She is challenging Palacios through the zone. I love that. She's not trying to be too careful, throwing some good spins, and she is spinning it off the barrel.
You can see Autumn Gillespie behind the plate trying to pump her up, tapping the chest protector. Bring this one to me. Grand Slam, Arizona. What an explosion to start day 2.
And Diedrich put up a battle against Palacios. A great sequence of pitches, and this pitch is down. Look at how far down at the shins that pitch, but Palacios sits down, drops the barrel, her knee practically on the dirt behind her, and drives it over that center field fence, clearing the bases for Arizona. A grand slam. And this is the offense. This is the Arizona offense that they've been missing all season long, coming alive here in the postseason.
Wow. 8 runs driven in the regional, 5 for 6 for Charlize Palacios, the second-year freshman, adding to the middle of the order punch. Wow. And everyone around the country is saying, oh no, not the right time for the Arizona bats to heat up.
You know, we talked to Coach Candrea prior to this series, and he's just always so candid about where his team is at. There's no secrets. It's like, we got to figure out a way to hit. We have to hit. The pitchers have been doing a great job, you know, limiting offense on the other side, but we just haven't been coming through. We got to figure it out.
Which again, their last 2 series were Oregon and UCLA, and they dropped the first 2 games and had to recover, and they weren't getting a ton of offense. So those were some pitching staffs to deal with, but they're dealing with the ones they've been presented with this weekend.
I think there's also a sense of urgency for the seniors on the team as well, knowing that it's very close to being their last game. They've worked hard to be here.
Landon Bruce, freshman from California, warming up.
Ooh, a good pitch off the plate.
And that tells you all you need to know about Ole Miss's stance on the game, right? And it makes sense. When it was 3-0, Tillman was warming up. At 8-0, it's Landon Bruce, who's only pitched 8 times this year. Shielding her eyes from the sun and hauling it in, Jessie Puck with a nervous smile after finally ending that inning, but the big blow delivered, Charlize Palacios.
This is the boost the Wildcats needed. Palacios going downstairs, scooping it off the dirt and over the center field fence. That scores 4, Arizona up.
Now the next SEC storied film, Hold the Rope, premieres Monday, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, right here on the SEC Network and in the ESPN app. It's the story of legendary LSU baseball head coach Skip Bertman. Hold the rope, a consistent team motto as LSU became a perennial power. Bertman starting with the Tigers in 1984, all the way up to 2000. And that'll be on Monday night, the premiere of that. Jamie Traxel has other plans, I imagine. 8-0 Arizona as we go to the 3rd. It's a punch in the mouth, Amanda. How does Ole Miss deal with it right off the bat?
You know, one pitch at a time. It sounds like such a cliche, but there's a long road ahead of them in this series.
Malia Martinez got to that while it was fair, 1 out.
And we've talked about the ability for teams to come back and generate momentum throughout a regional after being down. So you just can't count yourself out too quickly.
And it's kind of a position Ole Miss is unfortunately familiar with. 5-0 all time in regional openers, but just 1-3 in regional game 2s. Their only win was against Arizona State in a year they swept through the Oxford Regional And as we told you 2 years ago, lost to Louisiana Lafayette in this game before rallying on Sunday with a couple wins over the Ragin' Cajuns.
I think Ole Miss just needs to go back to the approach they had coming into this ball game, where they were getting base runners on in that first inning, being patient at the plate, really making Alyssa Denham work. Got to stay off that pitch, down and out of the zone, knowing that that knee high and below it hasn't really been called.
Changeup misses. Now Gillespie, an opposite field hitter, and we told you off to a great start in this regional, 4 for 5. Abby Latham to follow for Ole Miss here in the third. And I think you're getting an idea from our camera position just how windy it is inside Rita Hillenbrand Stadium. First year in charge of Ole Miss for Jamie Traxel, after the interim coach Ruben Felix oversaw the shortened 2020 season. 12-12 in the SEC, that's tied for the most wins Ole Miss has ever had. And they lead the country in times hit by a pitch. As the batter, not hit by pitch by their pitcher. That's hit well from Latham, and in that win, it is out of here. Don't give up on Ole Miss just yet.
Well, Abby Latham steps in, Gillespie on first, wastes no time, finds the wind, and she just drives this pitch up and out of left field. Miono gently jogs to the fence, but she knows that ball is gone. Abby Latham.
That thing was probably going out anyway, yeah?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no doubter.
I mean, she has the most power for Ole Miss. That's home run number 7. She had 10 a couple of years ago. And it gives you a little belief. And Taryn Moat, who knows plenty about Ole Miss, she was the pitching coach there from 2015 to 2017. Out to talk to Alyssa Denham.
You have to love the response, though, by Ole Miss. You take a gut punch that last half inning, and then come right back up your next at-bat, the next half inning, and just respond. Put a couple up on the board.
Came out aggressive this inning, even when maybe they shouldn't have been, right? Gillespie swung over a pitch. Denham didn't throw a strike that entire at-bat. Gillespie walks, and then Denham finally came in with a strike, and Latham just crushed it. Control not usually an issue for Denham. 44 walks in 127 innings coming in. But she did up her velocity last year and lost a little bit of control in that process. And it has deserted her for the moment. Jessie Puck gonna come up. What can Ole Miss do here? Can they get more than just 2 here in the third?
Hey, ride this momentum. Denham's having a hard time finding the zone, and it's not just missing. She just looks a little uncomfortable out there, crossing up Mulipolo a little, off speed in the dirt. While she's out of rhythm, is a good time to capitalize.
And we talked about this a bit yesterday. It's kind of a fine line, though, right, between wanting to make her throw strikes but wanting to be aggressive at the same time, as we see Kelsha Lofton pinch run for the second straight day. Came around to score yesterday. Puck 0 for 3 in the regional. Nice play by Harper, and she'll turn it. Great response from Arizona. Wildcats defense once again carries them out of the inning.
But it's Abby Latham up to bat Gillespie on. She gets Ole Miss up on the board with a monster home run left field. Ole Miss is not out yet.
Ball today, and we're not talking cheapies, Amanda.
We had Deja Mulipola busting out with the long ball in the first inning. Palacios, a grand slam in the second. That put Arizona up 8-0, but then a quick response by Ole Miss. Abby Latham with the runner on. A big time pop over left field.
Arizona led 8-0. Ole Miss just got that home run from Latham to keep them within playing distance. And they will make a change in the circle for Ole Miss. There's no change in the wind, which I think all the pitchers are a little concerned about. But we will see Ava Tillman for the second time in the regionals, and it's a very different look than Diedrich.
Yeah, absolutely. She'll throw hard down in the zone, and she'll get that weak contact. So with the wind blowing and the Wildcats swinging some powerful sticks, you want to keep that ball down and in the infield and let your defense go to work.
Jamie Traxel had her choice of pitchers to come in for Diedrich. We saw her warm 2 different ones up, and she goes with Tillman, who's a little bit higher in their rotation. She's really kind of the number 3 arm on the staff. Maybe that means she thinks Ole Miss still has a chance at a comeback. Some of that will be up to Tillman, who misses down low to
right.
Carly Skupin.
That's the nice thing about having a staff, is you can make decisions as the game goes.
Seven, 8, 9 in the Arizona order up. Mariah Lopez was throwing. She's fixing the visor at the moment, but both Devin Netz and Lopez up in the Arizona bullpen.
I think both teams want this game. Nobody wants to have to go into the night and to have to play 2 tomorrow, so all hands on deck.
And that's Ansley Furbush. We're just going to show you the whole staffs right now. That's everybody for Ole Miss except Anna Borgen, who started yesterday and is probably being held out to start whatever their next game is. But you never know. 3-2 to Skupin. On the ground, Gutierrez returned to the game after Lofton had pinch ran for her, and she records the putout.
Playing some baseball D back there behind first base. We talked about Skupin yesterday, and Coach Kendra is saying how quick her hands were, how much power she has for a freshman. She's going to be one of those athletes I think we're going to be paying attention to for a number of years to come.
Now, Malia Martinez provides 10 home runs out of this 8 spot, and also had a single up the middle back in the second. Uses the middle of the field again to get on board.
Two for 2 on the day. Martinez takes an outside pitch, goes with it. She's just simplifying her swing, punching it up the middle. Can hit the long ball, but also just thinking about getting herself on base.
Jasmine Perez-Chica will run at first. Daughter of the Diamondbacks third base coach, Tony Perez-Chica. Now Peanut Martinez, the batter, takes a strike. Slap to third. They can't quite turn it, but there are two down. Paige Smith starting that from third.
A great play here to field that, quickly get over to second base. Behringer over to Gutierrez at first. Peanut Martinez legging it out to prevent that double. Seen some good defense played by Ole Miss over there on that left side.
Yeah, these teams both can pick it pretty well. Top 20 in the country in fielding percentage. Again, that's the best fielding stat we have available to us, and the eye test has backed it up so far. This is the top of the order. And the dangerous Mionyo, even with two down in the first inning of work for Ava Tillman.
Looks like that
Autumn
pitch
Gillespie.
caught Gillespie off guard a little. Gonna go make sure they're on the same page.
Everybody tight on the infield as if there were a runner at third based on the speed of Mionyo. Gillespie tries to pick off Peanut Martinez. Gillespie only played 12 games as a freshman at UCF before she got hurt. She picked off 3 runners in that time, which tied the UCF record in only 12 games.
Yeah, she's aggressive back there.
Trying to get Ole Miss back to the plate to try and develop some momentum. Got the home run from Latham last half inning. Allie wisely goes to second, but it's not in time. I don't know if Behringer was ready for it. With the speed of Mionyo, that was the play to make. But
Yeah,
now
I
there's
agree.
2
That
on
was
with
the
2
only
out.
play. Right, that was the only play available with Mionyo's speed down the line. You field that ball in the hole, and she knows right off the bat her plays at second base, and Behringer kind of hanging out a little far forward. Not expecting it too far from the bag. Peanut Martinez not expecting it either. She goes in standing up.
I mean, that's one of those classic anticipate what you're doing if the ball is hit to X spot before it happens, and Allie had thought it out much more than Behringer had. It is a hit. It's a 4th straight game with a hit for Mionyo. Now a ball and a strike to Reina Caranco. Jessie Harper waiting behind her. Wind-blown double that went a long way in the air, but about 30 feet forward.
You know, when you look back on the stats, it's just going to be a double in the book, so we'll take it.
Hillenbrand Stadium faithful not happy with that decision on the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tillman trying to get out of it.
I think the height
Harper
of the
waits
last
on
one.
deck.
Yeah, the height of the last one was, I think, where the grumbles came from, but that pitch down in the zone. I thought it looked good, but that hasn't been called.
I mean, Karanko's got a pretty good crouch going. If you're around the bottom of the letters, I think it's reasonable.
I agree.
But we don't root for Arizona, so, and we're not there to yell.
Oh, these fans, though, they'll let you know. They've seen enough
Almost-
softball.
Almost 2,000 in the building last night to watch the 7-0 win over UMBC. I was hoping this new grandstand would limit the wind somewhat, but no such luck.
Nope. Not in the outfield. It's
about the-
blowing pretty heavy.
How about the UMBC fans catching some rays? They were stocking up on sunscreen at the airport, you know. This is hit to Allie on the short hop. She hesitates but gets Karanko. Oh boy, we'll hear from Mike Candrea. He'll be candid when we come back. We're back in Tucson, joined by the Arizona head coach Mike Candrea. Mike, what'd you say to get the power back in those bats this weekend, because they have certainly arrived?
Not much. You know, it's been there. It's just getting good pitches, putting good swings on it. So it's fun.
And your
to,
defense
fun to
is
see.
Your defense is always there for you.
Yeah.
Your circle's doing a good job of managing the zone and getting the outs. Kind of assess the performance so far.
Well, right now it's good. You know, it's just this wind can be havoc. So it's, you know, Denham keeps the ball down and gets some ground balls for us. I'll be really happy. But yeah, we've got to keep plugging away. You know, keep plugging away. A lot of softball left.
Thanks, Mike. We'll talk to you later.
You got it. Take care.
When we saw the bullpen activity, wanted to make sure that Alyssa Denham was coming back out for the 4th, but you heard him. He wants to keep the ball on the ground, and with good reason. So Behringer, Naomi Jones, and Allie, 6, 7, and 8 in the Ole Miss order up here in the 4th. And it was a 2-run homer from Latham in the 3rd, and Denham had a lot of trouble with her control. 2 walks and then grooved one.
I like the approach of Ole Miss responding back. Still not swinging at pitches out of the zone. They're being very patient.
Behringer having a great tournament so far with 3 hits. She's from Cienega High School in Vail, about 30 miles away, and played here in club ball. Supposed to play for the Mexican junior national team last summer before COVID changed everybody's plans.
It's fun seeing these athletes jump on these international teams when there are opportunities. Junior national teams, senior national teams.
Waved at that one out of the zone, and it's strikeout number 2 for Denham.
Behringer goes down and outside, a nicely executed drop off the plate with 2 strikes. That's where you want to put a pitch when you don't want it to be hit.
Naomi Jones, first pitch, slapping to left for a base hit. The Big Boppers and the Slappers came to play this weekend.
It's been fun to watch those two sides, right? The use of the dirt, finding outfield grass on just a little pump. Jones doesn't even finish through her swing. She just angles her bat and barrels it up.
Eight of 9 stealing bases on the year, Naomi Jones. Deja Mulipola's got a great arm behind the plate, and you're down 8-2, so I don't know that this is the ideal spot. That low strike, it is a very fine line that Alyssa Denham is walking every pitch.
I feel like it's been consistent, though, in a way. 1/2 ball below, and that's a ball.
2 on, though, for Ole Miss once again. We have not had a single 1-2-3 inning in this game. And it almost feels like Arizona is saying, we'll give you those ground ball singles. We're gonna hit a few more over the fence than you can hit through our infield.
Well, that's what Coach Kendra was talking about, right? Wants the ball on the dirt, want Denham to throw some ground balls, but Ole Miss is finding the holes.
And again, Tate Whitley up with a runner in scoring position. Good run producer out of the 9 spot. Aaliyah Martinez right on that, and it hits the runner. Jones scores easily, and there's 2 in scoring position for Ole Miss here in the 4th.
Wow, Tate Whitley's just making things happen at the plate. I love when the number 9 just gets up, does their job, uses her speed to create chaos on the infield. That ball thrown a little up the line. Martinez at third has to rush, bleeds into the line, hits Whitley. Jones scores.
Now Mike Candrea is asking for them to consider the positioning of the base runner, Whitley. She was inside the baseline in the last 30 feet there. And so the umpires will confer. And this is immense decision at this part of the game.
What happens so quickly also in the slappers when they're moving through the box or putting down a bunt tend to start their running path inside that chalk line. They need to make their way, and she is inside the white lines. I still think that ball was thrown slightly up, but her running path was not in foul territory. Now it's whether or not it was seen and if that call is going to be reversed.
And that's, I mean, it's very rare that you get called for where she was. She wasn't egregiously inside, right? She was going to the corner of the base that's right on the line. She wasn't making a big distraction of herself.
Right, and that happens a lot in this game with the slappers. Like I said, the way they move through the box, their momentum takes them towards the pitcher before they go towards first base. So it's a matter of getting into that foul line, and a lot of times it happens at the last minute, or at the last second, I should say.
So it'll be a sacrifice and a throwing error on the third baseman, Martinez. And this run's going to count, and there's going to be 2 more on the base paths.
Well, let's look at what a beautiful bunt that was, first of all. And there was that collision inside the base path. Karanko not able to get a hold of that ball. Jones scores.
Paige Smith takes a strike. I got to say, you know, I thought she was running to the inside corner of the base, but she wound up touching the base more toward the field of play than I initially thought. There's no replay in the NCAA tournament. Hopefully that's coming in a year or 2. That's a decision made above our pay grade. But right here, it has Ole Miss a base hit in the right spot away from making it an 8-5 game. It is an 0-2 count. with the rise upstairs. Alyssa Denham is drop all day, but she guessed Paige Smith right there.
And that was one of the best sequences we've seen out of Denham all day long. Moving the off speed and then that low rise through the zone, so well placed to get a really tough hitter out.
Almost feels like that call focused her, the way she attacked this hitter.
Yeah, I agree. You know, you have to get to work because defense is working hard behind you. The calls aren't all going to go your way.
But this is the right hitter for Ole Miss up there. Tremendous regional so far, 4 for 5. And Abby Latham, the home run hitter behind her, should Denham's control falter. With the changeup.
She's relying on that pitch quite a bit for a strike this game. You don't expect it with 2 balls. When you need a strike, few pitchers will throw that reliably for a strike.
To left center field and gone! Autumn Gillespie thrives. And it is 8-6.
And the shift in momentum, you could just feel it from Arizona to that Ole Miss dugout. And after that play, breathing life into that offense, giving them another chance. And Gillespie, an athlete that's been doing it. She did it all day yesterday, did it again today with a couple runners on base. Big time at bat.
Autumn Gillespie was sitting changeup. She got all of it. Pitching change upon us. Ole Miss still batting. Thought this one was a goner. Ole Miss has scored 6 straight, and they are scorching the ball right now. Abby Latham is 3 for 3 and greets Mariah Lopez with a rocket to left.
We haven't even had an opportunity to talk about Mariah Lopez, but Abby Latham in there, first pitch swinging. She got her timing down while Lopez was warming up. But here's Mariah Lopez. Not an overpowering pitcher, but her strength is up in the zone, and she's been performing well later in the season, which is where you want these pitchers to really step up their game. Lopez has been doing that.
She was 51-2 at Oklahoma. (18-4) at Arizona over 2 years, still pretty good. This is the Ole Miss cleanup hitter. Home runs from Latham and Gillespie, aided by the somewhat controversial play at first base where the throw hit the batter runner. There's the rise up in the zone, and there is Arizona out of the inning. But Ole Miss puts up 4. The big blow off Autumn Gillespie's bat. Jamie Traxel's bunch feeling a whole lot better than they did 45 minutes ago. Jumped out to an 8-0 lead. Ole Miss came storming back 8-6. And Jamie Traxel, what did you say to your team at 8-0? Because it obviously had an impact.
Well, each inning we just kind of said, make the plays that we can make. And, we missed one play that led to a few runs. But we just said, hey, we've been hitting her. We were squaring the ball up. We knew that the score wasn't going to end the way that it was. And obviously we put a great couple innings together and we're back in the game.
So in the circle, what's the key now for the pitching staff to limit the run so you can keep going offensively?
Yeah, we just got to make sure we're getting ahead in the count, not giving up free bases, and then, just continuing to throw good pitches and execute good pitches and, try to keep the ball off the plate a little bit so they can't square that up.
Thanks for your time, Jamie. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Boy, again, at 8-0 after 2 innings, the power we'd seen from Arizona, you kind of said we're looking at an Ole Miss playing later tonight. And now momentum's going every which way. The wind is blowing every which way. We don't know what's going to happen for the last 3.5, which is just what we want in mayhem.
Yeah, this is what we drew up, and I think this is a key inning with Harper leading off. You got Harper, Mulipola, Palacios. This is going to be a big inning to get through.
So Ava Tillman in her second inning of work. She's drop heavy. You saw that first drop miss low to Harper. Behringer makes the play, and that got to be a confidence boosting out for Tillman. Deja Mulipola, 3-run homer in the first, intentionally walked in the second. Looks at a changeup. There are the updated season numbers. 18 homers. How about a 518 OBP?
And those 58 RBI.
Palacios behind her is the hottest Wildcat hitter at the moment, so even at 2-0, you want to try and stay in the plate appearance if you can.
You got to ride a fine line between working ahead of these batters, but also not giving anything too good to hit.
I mean, how did Oregon and UCLA carve these lineups up?
They, you know, Arizona just wasn't hitting. They weren't seeing the ball well. And this is a big hitting ball club year after year that you know Arizona's going to come swinging it, and they just haven't been themselves over the last, I would say, a couple months. This is the first good look at this lineup that I've seen in a long time, and it's a great time to be doing it.
He had a hunch. We talked to him at 8-2, and he didn't feel all that comfortable. You can see ground balls to the right side. Tillman is instigating the kind of contact she's looking for.
All right, she's doing a good job of missing the bat, making the hitters uncomfortable.
Chased that one and down on strikes. How about Ava Tillman coming in firing? Now tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern, the SEC Now team will have all the highlights from a busy day on the Diamonds, both softball and baseball. You can always watch in the ESPN app. SEC Now tonight, 10 Eastern, 9 o'clock there in Mississippi. First strikeout for Tillman. This is inside to Charlize Palacios. We haven't had a 1-2-3 inning in this game. If she could do it against Arizona's 3-4-5 hitters, that would be quite a feather in your cap. Or your visor, I should say. Paige Smith, make sure it happens. 1-2-3 frame for Ava Tillman. Ole Miss is flying right now, and 5, 6, and 7 are coming up in the 5th. Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Regionals presented by Capital One. Tremendous game for you right now in the winner's bracket. Winner of this one will be in the catbird seat, we like to call it. Needs only to win once in 2 games on Sunday. The loser will play late tonight against either UMBC or Villanova, who follow us on the ESPN app. Arizona, the number 11 national seed, jumped out to an 8-0 lead. Remember, they handled Ole Miss in the Super Regional here 2 years ago. Rebels might have been caught thinking, here we go again. Instead, 2-run homer from Abby Latham in the 3rd, 3-run homer from Autumn Gillespie in the 4th. They drive Alyssa Denham from the game, and they are right back in it.
And Jessica Puck, the only Ole Miss hitter not to have had an at-bat last inning. She's feeling a little left out.
That's Amanda Freed, Olympic gold medalist, national champion. I'm Jonathan Yardley watching this regional with you. Amanda, what creates these crazy momentum swings we sometimes see? Because Ole Miss looked dead and buried.
I think that's really an art to being a great team.
Remember, the
Take a
wind
look at
has
this pop-up.
created some challenges, but Harper she grew up here. She's comfortable with it.
It's still blowing. I was waiting to see more movement by Harper, or maybe Martinez over there at third base tracking that ball, but it seemed to stay in the same spot. Haven't seen that much.
She's from California, not Tucson, so she didn't grow up here, but her softball has grown up here. Let's put it that way. Blaze Behringer grew up in the state, and she bats with one down. You know, Mariah Lopez in the circle, you thought when she transferred from OU to Arizona, we're getting a big-time presence in the circle, and it hasn't quite worked out for her to lead the staff. But her outing against UCLA on Sunday, she pitched twice in the same game, coming back in after starting, really encouraged Mike Candrea that she could be counted on in the postseason.
I needed all your pitchers to be willing to and able to go in and eat up some innings, and Mariah's performing at her best when these Wildcats need her, and that's really all you can ask for.
She's got the big grin working. She's known Mulipola, her catcher, from clubs softball since they were 9. And you know that was a big factor in the transfer, even though Mulipola then wound up opting out of last season, but they do get to play together now. Seems like half the Arizona roster came from the same club team. Includes these two.
It's very true, and you know, COVID presented its fair share of challenges, that's for sure, but I think it's also allowed these athletes to have that extra year to find their love and passion for the game again, and to allow athletes like Deja to come back and graduate with her class, be a part of this program, play with Mariah.
And Lopez acknowledged, you know, this hasn't been my best season. She says, I don't want to use the word slump, which is of course using it. But when you're not in a great place, you tend to want to just throw your hands up. And this is my senior year. I'm not giving up until the last pitch, the last out, the last game. So her role to play in the regional at least starts here in relief. And she's gotten 2 quick outs in the 5th to try and settle things down. Villanova up next. First NCAA tournament game in school history yesterday. Lost 5-1 to these Ole Miss Rebels. And they'll take on UMBC next. Somebody is getting their first ever NCAA tournament win and doing it at Hillenbrand Stadium, one of the legendary venues in the sport.
Yeah, the newly renovated Hillenbrand. It's so nice. I wish we were there experiencing it at full capacity, something that the Wildcats have waited for all season long.
Again, Arizona led 8-0 in this game. Ole Miss had scored 6 straight the last 2 innings. Mariah Lopez trying to hold him in check. Dropped by Martinez at third. Such close ground because of the speed of Jones, and she's aboard.
Well, just look at Jones' approach at the plate. She's so compact, and Martinez is up the line, expecting or looking for, trying to prevent the short game. But instead, Jones punches a hard line drive, hits off the heel of Martinez.
Hey, inspired lineup insertion. She's 2 for 2, but that chopper fielded by Harper, and the Arizona defense holds firm again. Quality outs from Mariah Lopez in relief. Arizona up 2, trying to add to it in the 5th.
We were playing softball in February here in Clearwater. The amount of great matchups that we have, great teams here, unparalleled.
We have some of the best talent in the country.
The best ticket, the hardest ticket to get in town. If you are a softball fan, this is a place that you want to be.
We are back at the beach better than ever. The St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational continues February 2022. Head to the website for more information, and we expect to see you February 2022. Won't be any cacti nearby, but there will be some beaches you can check out if you're ever not at the ballpark. Arizona and Ole Miss go to the bottom of the 5th, back and forth game. Momentum was swinging one way, and now it's the other. And Alyssa Palomino Cardoza leads off the Arizona 5th. Came off her front foot. And yeah, you might need a minute there.
She's good. Anytime she goes down, I worry about a knee. You know, that's something that
I think we all do.
Struggled with. Hold your breath for a minute. Oh, it's just a toe. You're fine. Get back in there.
No toe is keeping me out of the batter's box. Arizona hitters 2 for their last 11 after the first time through the order put up 5 hits. Third inning of work for Ava Tillman, who has so far proven to be the right arm at the right time.
Yeah, Traxel was looking at a couple of different options, and she had a feeling, though, her team was going to be scoring runs and that score wasn't going to hold, so she's going to go with Tillman.
It's a pretty good 2-strike pitch.
Yeah.
Riker Chasen, the pitching coach, signaling in the pitches. Traxel will signal the defense. Perfectly positioned there, 1 out. She's still a young head coach at 42, even though she's been in the coaching ranks practically since she was a player. Surrounded herself with a really young staff. Again, Chasen's 24. They got a couple others in their 20s, and it's brought some great energy to that Ole Miss program. Carly Skupin slashing that one foul.
Nice pick by Gillespie. So nice to have that leadership behind the plate. We've been talking about her all regional, back there handling all the pitchers.
It was funny, Jamie Traxel's from Duluth, Minnesota, and she said she talks pretty fast, especially when you're around an Ole Miss program. And she said there's a couple players where we kind of early on, we would just kind of stand there talking to each other. I'm not sure either one of us understood what was going on, and Well, she said one of them was from Georgia, and Ava Tillman's from Georgia, which is why I'm telling the story. So I think they certainly understand each other a bit better now than they did last fall, put it that way.
Oh, it was fun talking to her on the phone, getting to know this program. She said they have so much energy, they're fun.
Great read by Whitley off the bat of Skupin to track that down. She knows what she's talking about. Coming all the way down from spending most of her life in the North Dakota State, Iowa State, University of Minnesota. It's a culture change, shall we say. But again, she's been pushing the right buttons, right? Naomi Jones is in the lineup, has 2 hits. Ava Tillman comes in relief. And we don't want to jinx anybody, but she's been lights out.
I think it was the right move at the right time, and that's so much about what pitching decisions are about, right? Not leaving your starter in too long, not pulling them too early. But I think Coach Traxel had a really good instinct and intuition on the direction this game could go. Pulls the string on this changeup. We're on the same page. I think that's a good thing.
Let's say, if there's two of us telling you, if there's 2 of us telling you, you better watch the replay. Amanda Freeds in one part of the country, Jonathan Yardley, me, I'm in another. It's just part of COVID years that we're going to be looking back at, hopefully someday soon. All scattered in the dugout. He's good to go. And you kind of thought that Mariah Lopez retiring 4 straight batters might tamp down this Ole Miss momentum, but if Ava Tillman can go 1, 2, 3 here, you get the sense they'll be right back at it. They have Whitley to lead off the 6th.
Yeah, I think it's a great place to be to lead that off.
There's regionals around the country that are on their 3rd game of the day. We're in our 1st. We're settling in. And we're getting a good one between the 2 heavyweights in this 4-team regional. The 1-2. Smith, no trouble. It is another 1-2-3 inning. Ava Tillman has retired 7 straight. 9-1-2 coming up for Ole Miss. This might be the inning if they're going to catch Arizona. Balls have been flying out of Hillenbrand Stadium today. Arizona got us started with a 3-run shot and a grand slam. But Ole Miss has fought its way back. Amanda, powers on display.
Yeah, Arizona putting up a quick 8 spot in the first couple of innings, but then Ole Miss just bounces back. Abby Latham, a 2-run shot. Autumn Gillespie, a 3-run shot. I mean, balls have been flying out of Hillenbrand Stadium, putting on a show for this crowd.
Arizona was up 8-0, and Ole Miss has come back so furiously that Arizona is going to its ace, or its ace of the moment. Hannah Bowen shut out last night, coming out of the bullpen looking for a save today, and her first pitch is slapped into center by that catalyst from the number 9 spot, Tate Whitley. Here we go again.
When you said it, Jonathan, that this could be Ole Miss's best opportunity at coming back with Whitley leading off. She is a true leadoff. What she does in that 9 spot leads offensively for this team. And Hannah Bowen with a runner on base early. And what's good about Hannah in this position is she throws the ball pretty hard, but she's competitive out there. She locates the pitch really well, and she's an additional fielder in the infield.
Speaking of additional fielders, Julia Koutsianopoulos, defensive replacement at first for Skupin after her last at bat. Quickly 2-0, and no chance. Tate Whitley decided to advance. maybe their best hitter, Smith, is 0 for 3. She's due. At least that's what they're telling themselves in the first base dugout. And Gillespie, who is just crushing the ball in this tournament, waits on deck. Here was Bowen's day yesterday. Little shaky early, but really comfortable after. Not comfortable right now.
Bowen usually very good at hitting her spots, and we saw a little shaky in the first inning of yesterday's game, just trying to figure out the strike zone. Maybe calm some postseason nerves. It doesn't matter who you're facing if you're supposed to win. It's a big deal to be here. It's the next level. It's a big stage.
Taryn Moat's been in a few tight spots. She's out to talk to Bowen, while Ole Miss is, I believe, angling a pinch runner to come in. I mean, this is where it's going to happen, right? 2 on, nobody out, top of the 6th. This is the inning for Ole Miss. And Gillespie is the right one to have up there.
That's her last at-bat, so she's still feeling good about this swing. A 3-run home run. Just pumping up her teammates, running down that third base line.
She and Latham, the next 2 hitters, have more hits than the rest of the Ole Miss lineup. They have 5, the rest of the team has 4. Oh, beg your pardon, they're up to 5 now. It's 5 and 5. There is the pinch runner down at second base. Beg your pardon, that's Whitley, who is the lead runner. And the pinch runner, Macy Keister, is over at first. She was taking, and the count 0-1. There's Keister. Ran yesterday as well, actually ran herself into an out at third base. But Lofton has already been burned. And whatever Taryn Moat said, it worked.
Put the ball down, put it on the corners. 2 quick strikes.
Coach, I'm trying.
It's usually how the conversation does go.
That was down and near a corner. In the river, maybe.
That was a little down, but that was a really nice 0-2 pitch. Great pitcher's pitch.
Gillespie did well to foul that off in on the hands.
Just look at
Not
her
a lot
pace
of
up
overlap.
there. She's moving quick.
That's off the plate as well. I'm loving this. This is tremendous, and it's only Saturday. It's only game 3 out of 6 or 7 in this regional.
Now this feels like it should be the Sunday game right now. These 2 teams are just going at it.
With the rise, with the fist pump. 1 down for Hannah Bowen in Arizona in the 6th.
And you get a sense of how important this out was by the way Hannah Bowen reacts. Going high for the rise, the fist pump. The point of the glove by Mulipola, great pitch to get a really, really dangerous Gillespie out.
First time Arizona's retired her, and only the 2nd time in the regional. But the hitter behind her has been just as good today. Abby Latham, 3 for 3. Boy, Whitley thought about going once again. And Mulipola did just enough to keep it nearby.
You get base runners on, you want to preserve them, so you're going to take risks, you're going to be aggressive, but you want to be smart also, knowing who's up to bat and what Latham has been doing.
And knowing who's behind the plate also.
Touche. Good point. Know the situation.
I mean, we haven't seen a steal in this game because both catchers are absolute shutdown arms. first time we've seen almost anybody go upstairs consistently. I think Denham had one strikeout with a rise, but Bowen has gone up there a couple times. It's a 1-2. Abby Latham, Ole Miss's biggest power threat. She runs into one. She is the go-ahead run. I didn't hear or see the infield fly rule called, and so the out has to be recorded at third by Harper. It wasn't in the air long enough for anyone to call infield fly.
That must have been placed in a perfect spot. Look at Martinez, struggles with the sun. She's trying to block with her glove. Even goes down into a crouch, but just not able to hang on to it. But Harper, knowing she's got to go get that force out now at third.
Fouled away by Sid Gutierrez. And again, this is all the way through the heart of the order. This is the number 4 hitter. If Arizona escapes here, it's 5, 6, and 7. Don't get me wrong, they've been on base, but it's not quite as dangerous for the top of the 7th.
Mulipola really trying to get that outside corner, getting around it and sticking it, even though it's about a ball off.
Gutierrez 0 for the regional. She was their best hitter in the conference play. That's a foul ball. And she's down in the count, 1-2. Laying off that pitch amid the cacophony of Hillenbrand Stadium takes some discipline.
It's the energy, right? They'll get you to swing at pitches you don't want to swing at because of that energy.
(3-2), 2 outs. Runners will be off with the pitch. Out of reach for everybody. Not to repeat it over and over, but this just feels so different with a full grandstand. Glove flip to second, and they get the key out to end the inning scoreless. Hannah Bowen and Arizona 3 outs away from reaching the regional final.
We're gonna finish it off here. A nice glove flip over to Jessie Harper for out number 3.
The NCAA Softball Regionals is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Sabino Canyon here in the Tucson area. Some great softball from Hillenbrand Stadium in game number 3 of our regional. Arizona led 8-0 through 2 innings. Ole Miss scored the next 6 and has out-hit the Wildcats. But a 3-run shot and a grand slam are hard to beat. And Arizona this year 32-0 when they score at least 3 runs. They'll try and add to their lead. Peanut Martinez has the perfect start.
of similar to last half inning with Tate Whitley leading off out of that 9th spot, getting on base. These number 9 hitters have been producing. And now you've got Mionyo coming up, and she's due for some damage as well.
Yeah, you saw the old school signs, no armbands for the Arizona hitters to worry about. The question was Mionyo bunting or slashing or doing whatever she wants? Gillespie throws in behind, but Peanut Martinez alert to it.
Well, Mionyo's so good at reading the defense, she really can't do anything. And I don't know that she makes her mind up until she sees what the defense is doing. So she'll show that bunt, pull it back, and she'll put that bunt back out there, or she'll hold it back and go for the slap. She's got some power, so defensively, you're really playing to protect everything.
Well, the first 2 runners in the Ole Miss 6th reached. Neither came around to score.
Mionyo throwing the bat a little prematurely. That was a pretty good pitch. 3-0.
I didn't see an apology either. Like, you got to say, "My bad, sir," to the umpire when you show him up with a bat toss. Doesn't matter. Nothing you can do to defend that.
I mean, it's just so natural. She sees the ball down and just meets it low in the zone, finds the dirt in front of the plate, and uses that high hop. I mean, once you see the height of that, you know you have no play. That's really smart to look over at second, see if you can catch Peanut Martinez off the bag, but just no way to defend that.
Karanko sacrificed a couple times yesterday. She did try to bunt there. Arizona trying to add to its lead. Ava Tillman has been fantastic in the circle for Ole Miss. Came on in the 3rd, trailing 8-2, and has kept Arizona in check.
Does a little hop out there. She wants that pitch called. That's a great spot, down and outside.
That was a little farther out, no question about it. Oh. I gotta say, Amanda, if you're using wristbands, why are you calling pitches with a runner at second?
Yeah, way off the plate. I think Gillespie wants that. She's sticking it well, getting around it by her positioning, though. It looks off the plate.
Wind carrying it and Whitley gloving it. Both runners tag, and both runners are safe. Pretty good carry and pretty good path from Tate Whitley.
I mean, Whitley ran a long way for this ball. Think about that wind up there. Karanko goes high, and Whitley's playing shallow depth because you don't want that ball to drop in front. She tracks it all the way to the warning track and then knows she's got to get rid of it, make that throw. The base runners are tagging all the way. And if that ball drops, 2-run score.
Here's Harper. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Mulipola, of course, waits on deck. That was a wind-blown double. It was not struck particularly well. Harper's gone the other way all 3 times this afternoon. She goes the other way, and it hangs up. It will bring in a run. And Mionio holds it third, 9-6, Arizona.
Arizona needed this sacrifice fly, and it comes off of the bat of Harper. The crowd thinks it's going to leave the park, but it does just enough to get Hannah Martinez home.
Dad Jim enjoying it. Deja Mulipola stands in. There's a longer story on Jim Harper we'll bring to you as the weekend goes. There's one on ESPN.com right now that features him prominently. Mulipola trying to make it a 4-run game or even a 5-run game if you're thinking big. In the top of the 7th, Ole Miss will have Puck, Behringer, and Jones. 5, 6, and 7 coming up, presumably against Bowen.
And these runs, these insurance runs were big for Arizona. You just had the feeling that they knew a 2-run lead was not going to be enough going into the 7th inning. Not the way that Ole Miss has been swinging it and fighting back. Runs here in the bottom of the 6th are huge.
These are some great 2-strike pitches, and nobody wearing white is biting.
And there's a good one. And it gets tough when you face these good hitters, big hitters at the top level, as they swing the bat really well, but they've got great eyes and a good idea and command of the zone, so you can't get away with too much.
Tillman not a strikeout pitcher. What a way to start day 2 of this regional. All kinds of power. Arizona's been out hit, but still up by 3 here. Nobody's got more power than that. Deja Mulipola leaves the ballpark and puts it out of reach.
Well, this crowd loves their big hitters. And they've seen him year after year. Mulipola was patient in this at-bat. She didn't like a couple pitches, fouled him off, and then she got one she really liked, sat back, knew it right off the bat. And she knows how important it is at this point in the ball game, the way her team has needed the support, the run support. She comes through big.
Y'all, she obliterated that. I mean, that was tagged well over the bleachers in left field. They were waving to it. Led the Pac-12 in home runs for a reason.
And she's so quiet about it too, just compact. Didn't try too hard, just connected.
Scorched. Palacios is locked in. She's got 3 hits for the 2nd straight day. Isabella Dayton, the pinch runner.
Yeah, hitting
And
really
we
is
will get
contagious.
a change. It's caught one too many Arizona bats for Jamie Traxel's liking, and it will be Landon Bruce called on here. A reminder, tomorrow the Rally Cap crew breaks down the week that was in both baseball and softball. Highlights, analysis, and interviews. And they'll get you set with a look ahead at the upcoming week's best matchups. Rally Cap, 7 Eastern, 6 Central tomorrow right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. I don't know how much time they'll spend on this one, but they would have plenty of long balls to cover, and I mean long. Molipola twice and Palacios have just absolutely crushed some deliveries today. Landon Bruce, freshman from Temecula, California. What do you think, Amanda? Does Borgen throw the night game for Ole Miss if there's no seventh inning rally?
Yeah, I think you have to at this point. You have to get to tomorrow, and then you go all staff on deck. But at this point, going to get Bruce some innings, see how she does, because you might come to a point later today or going into tomorrow if this game stands where you're going to need more than just your top 3 pitchers.
Palomino Cardoza, one of the few for Arizona without a hit today, 1 for 6 in the regional. She's got a hit now. She's got a run driven in, and she'll hold second base. Arizona's broken it open.
Well, Palomino Cardoza has been making such good, solid contact, but it's been right at the fielders, not this time. Over the head of Puck out there in left field, bounces off the wall. Dayton scores, and Palomino Cardoza up at 2.
Carly Skupin re-enters. And she is the potential game-ending run. And she does have the power to do it, trust me.
It's crazy that we went from that widespread to a close game and then back to this point. I didn't think we were going to be here.
Well, someone told me hitting is contagious, and it drifted back to the third base dugout in the bottom of the 6th. Deja Mulipola always has a case of the homers. 12-6 Wildcats. Time now for a look at our Capital One rewarding performance. Deja Mulipola, 2 bombs in this one.
Well, she did it at the best possible time in this ball game. The first inning for 3, and then the 6th inning going into the top of the 7th. The Wildcats needed some insurance runs, and she delivered.
I would really like to know how far the second one traveled. That was absolutely tagged.
I'm sure they have it measured. They've got it.
It just sounded different coming off the bat. Puck, Behringer, and Jones up for Ole Miss in the 7th. I thought they were dead and buried at 8-0, so who's to say they can't come back from 6 runs down in the 7th? It's unlikely.
But I don't know. At this point, it's about momentum. Get what you can. Get runners on base.
Slowly hit, but just enough time to retire Bowen. One away, or beg your pardon, Puck, one away. Winner of this heads into Sunday night's regional championship unbeaten. They could win either Game 6 or Game 7 of the tournament to advance, and the teams that start 2-0 usually do. Misplayed in left by the on-rushing Mionyo, and Blaze Behringer is all the way to second base.
Well, that Sun is just doing a number on the left side of the outfield and the infield. But this looks like an easy grab for Mionyo, and she dives past it. I don't know if it was just misjudged because of the sun or the effort, but Behringer doing a good job of getting herself over to second.
Naomi Jones, 2 hits on the day, lays down a bunt. Malia Martinez right on it and throws out Jones with Karanko covering. 2 away. That Arizona defense so good, uncharacteristic for them to have. They're giving him a double, but it could have been 3 errors in 2 games. They bounce right back with that play. And it will be a pinch hitter for Ole Miss. Ansley Furbush, freshman from Winter Springs High School in Florida, will bat for the shortstop, Alley. The loser of this one looks like Ole Miss will play in our 3rd game. Give us, 4 hours or so until that happens, against the winner of the Villanova UMBC game, which follows us on the ESPN app in about 35 minutes. If you want to know what time it starts, you want to know where you can watch it other than the ESPN app, log on to Twitter. Good pitch.
Now you heard it from the crowd. You can see it in the hitch of Furbush thinking about it.
Hannah Bowen's parents up and down with every pitch, even though they've been here before.
I don't know that it ever gets any easier.
It never gets old, no. 2-out walk drawn by Furbush.
Furbush really earned that. There were a couple of close pitches.
And Ole Miss will make another change just to keep the wheels turning here in the 7th. We can't go too many batters without some sort of substitution. It's Tate Whitley at the plate. I don't think she's the one coming out.
Looks like a re-entry.
It'll be Maddie Banks coming off the bench to pinch run. Transfer from Virginia Tech, which, by the way, is closing in on a spot in the Super Regionals.
evens the
Ole
count, and
Miss
these
has-
hitters are making bone work for it in this 7th inning, and that's what it's about, getting momentum, knowing that you're likely gonna be in that next game, that 3rd game of the day. Get some momentum, get a little energy back in the dugout.
They have made this far more interesting than you would have thought, given that Arizona has hit 3 home runs and put up a 12 spot.
Yeah, and when you look at the score, I don't think it's indicative of what the game was and the way that Ole Miss had played and responded and just fought throughout.
Down 6 in the 7th, couple runners on. Tate Whitley trying to turn the lineup over. Hannah Bowen trying to end it. At least one more pitch. Bowen makes the play herself, locks down a W. Arizona moving on to the regional final.
Well, this was a big win for the Wildcats. They needed their offense to come alive if they had hopes of making it through this regional. They found it in this ball game from the 1st inning, stumbled a bit, and then responded really well at the end to come away with the W.
Arizona playing Sunday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific for the regional title. Ole Miss plays tonight. We don't know what time that game's really going to start. Stay with us on the ESPN app on 7 innings and you'll figure it out. UMBC and Villanova, our next game in the ESPN app. It'll be about 35 minutes for that. For our great crew in Tucson, for my partner Amanda Freed, I'm Jonathan Yardley. What a ball game we had today, and what a power display the Arizona Wildcats put on at the plate, out of the bullpen. Wildcats 12, Rebels 6. Arizona on to the regional final.